Hi. Uh, Mike here. The first half of our Duolingo videos were, I think, kind of the fun stuff. Production, speaking, pronunciation, writing. The second half of the videos, I think, are more the traditional testing stuff, like actual reading. But it's fine, guys. We can do it. So welcome to video 10, the complete the sentences, or basically fill in the blank. With choices. Here she is. Good news, you have 7 to 8 minutes for this task, and I think that's plenty of time. There should be about 6 questions. So in this video, I'll do an example, the example from the guide, as if I were taking the test myself. I just want you to see or hear what's in my head as I do this, and then we can go over a basic review of some test taking strategies. Multiple choice strategies. Okay, boom. This task is multiple choice, and each question has 5 choices. So even if you guess, you still have a 20% chance of choosing the correct answer. Also, notice you cannot move on unless you choose an answer for every question. Let's take a minute and thank Duolingo for this feature because there are so many students who leave questions blank no matter how many 1,000 times teachers tell students don't leave questions blank. Students always do it. So on the DET, you can't. Sorry about it. And this task is like a mix between grammar and vocabulary. I definitely would say more on the grammar side. It kind of gives me read and complete vibes. You remember that one? Video 1. Remember her? Yeah, except this time we actually have choices. So love that for us. Okay, that is a basic description. So now let's do it. Vamos lá. Here's our exercise. Now, this is me thinking out loud. So I'm just going to say what's in my head. Taking this test. Okay. Number or sentence 1. There is some blank news for monarch butterflies, which are known for their long journeys from Canada to Mexico. Okay, after the blank, I have news, which is a noun. Before the blank, I have some, which is a determiner, and it tells us number. So usually before nouns, we have adjectives, and that makes sense here. Of is not an adjective, it's a preposition. It doesn't make sense here, so I'm gonna take it out.
Edit that out.
I don't know why some is a choice here because we already have some, so I'm gonna mark that out. Now we have 3 choices, same, good, new. All of these are or can be adjectives, but same and new are both weird. They sound unnatural, and new news is redundant, so I think the answer is good. Good news is a common pair, it's a collocation, so let's put good news. This is only the first sentence, so I'm a little cautious, but I'm going to put good news and then I'm going to come back later after a little more context. Next, scientists have found a new reserve where there blank more milkweed plants. Okay, using there is, there are, this is a basic structure we have in English. There is a man, there are many flowers, etc., etc. So we feel confident about this one, but we do actually have more evidence. This sentence has the first one, scientists have found a new reserve. Then we have the connecting word where. Clause 1, connecting word, and then we have clause 2. But clause 2 has no verb. There blank more milkweed plants. Every clause has to have a verb somewhere. Okay, let's look at our choices. Lot and more are not verbs, so chop.
You got chump, girl.
Will is a modal verb, which means it's a helping verb. Modal verbs, auxiliary verbs, helping verbs, it's all the same. But helping verbs are helping verbs because well, they help another verb. They need a main verb, right? So will can't be by itself. So will chop.
It's a chop.
This leaves become an R. Become more milkweed plants, chop. I know, most of you are probably like, I know it was there are, obviously. But if you need grammatical reasons for why we can eliminate the other answers, you're welcome. There are more milkweed plants, and the blank will have some place to land. The third gap is probably our first vocabulary or content question. Well, to land means something has to be able to fly in the first place, right? So planes land, spaceships land, your mom lands. I'm sorry.
You want to talk about lovers?
Larvae have no wings, so it's not that. Ugh. Larvae are like baby like insects. They're like worms, like ugh, gross.
The early bird catches the worm.
Take it out. To seems funny, but actually to could work grammatically as a reference pronoun. Like, oh, look at those two. Like, look at those two people over there, you know? But if you pay attention to the context, before this blank, the only subject we're talking about are butterflies in general. And I think there's more than two butterflies, so I think we can take two out. That number is not big enough. Take it out. King, males, and butterflies all seem okay. However, we don't really have a mention of gender so far. So I'm going to put butterflies, but I'm also going to be cautious and we're going to come back. We're going to check at the end. Let's keep going. Monarch butterflies are well known for the blank journey they make twice a blank. Okay, the fifth gap, number 5, is easier. We're going to do that first because, again, testing 101, you always do the easier ones first. That means you have more information filled in to help you with those difficult questions. So the fifth gap has a very clear common collocation, twice a year. You can also think of this as a common expression. Oh, God. You have like once a week, once a month, twice a year, twice a month, whatever. So it goes your numeral adverb plus a plus the length of time. Twice a time, twice a span, twice a beat. I've never heard any of these. They all sound kind of weird. So, matane, peace out. Okay, bye. Twice a weekend could work, but not maybe in this context. We think about what we're talking about. Butterflies don't make this big ass trip, like twice a weekend. It's from Canada to Mexico. So I think it's going to take them a little longer to do that. Now that we have the fifth gap, maybe the fourth one will be a little easier. We just worked through the logic of this, the timing. So if butterflies make this journey twice a year, it's a big one. It's a long one. Long makes sense, right? Long also collocates with journey. Also, long journey is at the beginning of this passage. I don't understand that. That's bad test writing, but I didn't say that. Best, find, and kind don't really collocate with journey. I mean, like a kind journey. Yeah, it's a no. So then we have last. Well, if the butterflies make this journey, every year, and we're talking about butterflies in general, then this probably isn't their last journey, right? It's going to happen again and again and again. And finally, we get to the sixth gap, and this I think is the hardest one. They found that fewer than 1 in 10 of them had blank the winter in Mexico. Okay, let's eliminate. So during grammatically does not work. It's a preposition. What do we have here? A tense. What tense? Quick, pop quiz. This is the past perfect, so we know any perfect tense, you have the have form, the verb, the helping verb have in some form, and then you have the third form. You have the past participle. So like taken, given, slept, been, whatever. So the 4 remaining choices are all third forms. But changed, that one we can eliminate because butterflies don't change winter. I don't think anybody has the power to change winter except God. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Call me crazy if you want, but I've never liked store-bought pesto.
Right, so then we're left with seen, experienced, and spent. And I'm gonna be honest, I probably get this one wrong because all three of these I really feel like are okay. The differences in meaning here get really, really close. Like they're very slightly different. What is this?
These are spirit fingers.
I guess seen winter is a little less natural, like experienced and spent sound better. Seen, like I guess you can see winter, but I mean, we can take that one out. Usually we use the verb see with more concrete things. I see the sunset. I saw your mom at I'm gonna grow up one day. But not today, bitch. Experience and spent are so freaking close. But for me, when I think about the word experience, it's something that, you've never done before. Hey, I'm almost finished, okay? Just relax. Okay, he's stressed. I know, question number 6 stressed me out too. Since the butterflies do this every year, then I guess we could take experience out too, which leaves us with spent. Now, spend the winter, it does collocate well, I've heard that. I'm gonna spend the summer in Paris.
Are you happy to be in Paris? Thank you. Are you happy to be in Paris? So much.
I'm gonna spend the winter in, I don't know, Aspen, Colorado. So Spence is the best star underlined star. Best answer. I don't think it's the only answer, but I think it's the best. And that's a good point. It doesn't matter what test you take. Sometimes, especially on TOEFL reading sections, IELTS, Cambridge, whatever, a lot of times you do actually have to choose not maybe what's the only answer, but what's the best answer. There is a difference. So be careful with multiple choice. All right, so then I would be finished with my multiple choice. I would be finished with this task, so I'm gonna double check my answers and make sure everything fits with the context appropriately. So when you do this particular task, you can follow your basic multiple choice testing strategies, which are quickly scan the whole passage, so at least you can get a familiarity, is that a word? You can become familiar with the subject or the topic. Do the easier questions first. That will fill in more information so that maybe your more difficult questions will become easier. Also, save those difficult questions for last. You don't want to spend time on harder questions. You have a bigger chance of getting those wrong. So you want to definitely get all the points you can from the easier questions. It's a numbers game. Use your grammar. If you were listening to me as I was going through this exercise, I was able to figure out a lot of these answers just by the grammar alone and without any vocabulary and sometimes context. I think there was one more. I think I'm forgetting one. Oh, and basically process of elimination also, chop the answers aren't correct to heighten, to increase your chance of choosing the correct answer if you have to guess. It's a little difficult finding exact exercises for the DET complete the sentences. So I honestly think if you practice any kind of reading exercises for tests, like the TOEFL readings or something like that, then that'll definitely help you. You just got to use those multiple choice strategies. All right. Thanks for joining me for video 10. I will see you next time. Take care of yourself. Hydrate, bitch. You look dry. Okay. And so does your mom.